So what is happening with Bitcoin? Where are we going next? Are we in a bull market? You know, let's dig straight into the video. So look, we're looking at Bitcoin here today. It has mooned and it basically touched that $60,000. Why has it done that? Well, I can tell you that it's done that is because investors were speculating on the ETF approval. So what is this ETF? Traders are optimistic about the chance of SEC giving the green light for the first Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund. So that's obviously very, aggressive. Futures exchange traded fund means they're going to be leveraging it. So there's going to be a lot of market activity into the market. The sentiment is positive and the speculation is very, very positive. And that's what's driving the price up really, really high. But what is really interesting to see is that the volume isn't particularly crazy. So I'll be very, very careful about this Bitcoin moon as well. So we had also Gareth Soloway, who I very much enjoy listening to, and a lot of his input. He actually called this $52,000 top right here. Boom. And the way he called that top was because he looked at this head and shoulders pattern, right? So shoulders, head, and another shoulders here. And basically look at the neckline. And then basically what he calls it is the return of the scene of the crime. So the prices will fall, but it will have to revisit to that neckline before it tips over and goes back into the bear season. So he was feeling quite confident around here, but it didn't really preclude his prediction from hitting that neckline once again. And so it looks like the neckline has been broken, but either way, it can be a fake out in the grand scheme of things. And if we look at the price action for in 2017 and also 2013, this kind of movement is still not out of the question that we may actually see a bear motion from here, because of the fact of the matter is Bitcoin has retraced, as much as 80% in most of these bull cycles. So his prediction and expectation in the short term is still very much that we will hit to the near, into the 20K regions, which will be around about the 80% retracement from the top that we had. So we're looking at the 80% retracement there is going to put us at $14,000, which is quite crazy, but it is something that I do expect if we look at any previous models of Bitcoin movements in the past. So, and when that happens, that will truly be a bear season, and that's when we go bloody shopping. But in terms of this movement here, that doesn't actually preclude us from the bear market, because we've cracked above this level. One thing that is going to actually preclude us from the bear market and actually truly get us into the real bull season is if we see the price action actually crack above that $65,000 mark. Because when that happens, that means there is no further testing zones out there. It's literally new territory, and it's going to be absolutely crazy there. So I think what will happen is that there's going to be some sort of news that comes out on the ETF speculation that we've seen, that either the ETF is going to be approved or the ETF is going to be delayed or whatever. And once that news comes out to the market, the classic adage of buy on the rumor, sell on the news is going to come in. And that's when the Bitcoin price is going to start tipping out. And fundamentally speaking, we've already begun that sort of negative fundamentals as well, and we're also waiting for some type of action from what's going to happen with Evergrande as well, which is an exciting frontier that's making impact onto the cryptocurrency market. We also need to see some sort of deleveraging event, which I think will come from the burst of the bubble into the stocks as well, because as you know, stocks has been performing quite poorly. What I can see right now is because of the low volume that we're looking at, that this is some sort of a trick from the whales at this stage. So it doesn't really convince me too hard that this is truly into the bull season once and again. And to be in the bull season right now, that would be actually in a very, very different sort of model to what we have seen in the past with how Bitcoin behaves. In the long run, of course, my view and outlook on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general is extremely bullish. That in the next 5 to 10 years, I think even if Bitcoin was to recorrect down to the 10K mark, 10 to 20K mark, that we will be able to see Bitcoin go as high as $100,000, and in 10 years time, almost $500,000 as well. So that is not out of the question, but at the moment in the short term, I would be very cautious about where Bitcoin will head towards. So just be really careful out there, guys, and understand that auto behave quite analogously with Bitcoin. I know that some of you are really happy with how the altcoins are traveling right now, but in general, it's going to be pretty hard to spot altcoins that are going to moon when Bitcoin is just crashing down into the zero. So just be really careful out there, guys. I think there is some whale manipulation out there, and the volume speak for itself. So just be really careful. Thank you so much for tuning in today. That is my outlook for Bitcoin. Hope you guys stay safe out there, and if you haven't done so, go check out my NFT project, FRREE, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.